There they are. What's up, killers? Let's go. Come on, baby. Come on. I love it. I want to start off with this right here. Number one, if you actually pay attention to what we're going to talk about tonight, Jake, Peter, John, like if you actually pay attention of what we're going to talk about tonight, you are going to literally you're going to figure out that there's a lot of holes that's inside of your business that you didn't even know was there. So, what I would like to do is number one, at the end of this video, at the end of the coaching, at the end of the training, I've built out an entire high ticket coaches toolkit. How many of you guys are a coach? Okay. 99% of everybody in here. Let's see why I can't see everybody. Here with us. Let's see if we can open it up a little bit more. Okay, now we're cooking. Brock, you sexy son of a gun. Brooke, let's go, Brooke. Come on. Come on. Let's see here. Let's see here. Where is everybody at? Let's get it to where I could see everybody. I see Luke Ward and Casey. Come on. Come on. So if you don't already, go ahead and grab a pen and piece of paper because this is going to be one where you're going to want to take a lot of notes because it's a bunch of good stuff. Let's go let Anthony in here. Dang. I see why Andy has so much freaking trouble on his computer. This thing, see, it's a Samsung, bro. You got to have a Mac. You know, that's what the deal is here. Let's go. So while you guys are grabbing your pen and paper, I'm going to allow a few more people in the waiting room before we get to jamming out. And admit. Okay. Luke, you look good there, bud. Come on. Chris, I see you too. Okay. Got the chat. Hmm. There we go. Now we're cooking with some peanut oil. Just kidding. That stuff's bad. Seed oils are bad for you. Hey, here's what I want to talk about. Like for the last 2 years, I've really geeked out when it comes to coaching, offers, content, all this different stuff. I went down a lot of rabbit holes. So I talk to coaches every single day, and without fail, every single time, like they don't have a problem of like not working hard. Okay. They're posting content, they're getting on the calls, the revenue, it's inconsistent. They're on a roller coaster. Some months are good, some months are bad, and they're scrambling just to figure things out. But here's the stuff that nobody wants to tell you: the daily schedule, the plan where you go in and attack every single day, is the reason why you're stuck. It's not the offer, it's not the niche, it's not the content, it's your schedule. You plan to fail or you fail to plan. I said that backwards. But here's the thing. The way you operate, okay, hour by hour, it's either building your business or it's you're just in a hamster wheel spinning around and around and around. So tonight, for those of you that don't know, I built out the elite operating system inside of our entire company where every salesperson goes through and is trained on. So every person that comes to our company, they go through this training to get them up to speed and show them how to do everything, how to set up their battle stations, how to set up their calendar, how to do all the boring, mundane stuff that makes their life easy. So that way, when they just get to work, they have everything in place that they need. Okay. So Javier, I'm also going to be doing a little bit of role play and objections. Okay. Some of the most common, hardest, most repetitive objections, we're going to be going over those and we're going to be role playing with them. So like the ones that are common that we're missing, that's costing us 5, 10, 20 grand a month, we're going to go over them. You guys are going to bust me up. I'm going to bust you guys up, but this is how we grow because there's not one niche of people that I love talking to or coaching more than coaches. They're the most coachable people. They take action more than anybody, and they're obviously the most committed. Because if you're not a committed coach, then you're not going to be a coach for much longer. So my Instagram, if you don't have me on Instagram, Jesse_Cloud9. If you DM me toolkit, I'll send you, I have a whole entire PDF structured out specifically for high ticket sales in your niche. It's not car sales, it's not roofing, it's not solar, it's specifically high ticket sales. So at the end, I'll drop my link so that way you can go find me on Instagram. So let's get right into it. Number one, by show of hands, who is doing under $10,000 a month in their coaching business right now? Okay. Who's doing over 30,000 a month? Okay. Beautiful. Beautiful. Okay. Who has never sold an offer at all? Nobody. Okay. So we all sold something. Okay. I love it. I love it. Now, let me ask you a question. If I was to look, if I went and audited your business and I looked at your calendar right now, like the calendar from the last 48 hours, how much of your time was spent on activities that are directly putting money into your account? And let me be clear, okay? Like, I'm not talking about like tweaking colors on your website. That's not an income producing activity. Scrolling on social media, looking at competitors' content, that's not income producing activity. Building something out on Canva, that's not an income producing activity. That's fake work that people disguise as productivity, because I've fallen into it a lot. But most coaches, like true income producing activities, that's it's probably only 30% of their day. So that means 30% of their day, they're doing things that generate money, but the other 70, they're busy being productive. That's not going to work. Not in a coaching business. There ain't no way. Imagine this, Luke, if you only give 30% to solar, how in the heck are you going to be able to go out and do what you did and break all the records, only doing 30%? There ain't no way. You got to give this time, but you have to prioritize your time wisely. So before every single call that you make, like before every piece of content, like your environment, where you start, that is what we call our battle station. Okay. I'm going to give you a couple of steps here, but what we call the battle station is right here. Right now I'm in Andy's office. But if I was in my office, you would see I would have my computer up. I would have all of my tabs organized correctly, laid out. Everything would be spotless. And why am I doing that? I'm doing that because no matter what happened that morning, no matter what happened the night before, if I was going into war and I had a gun, why would I want a dirty gun? No, I want a clean gun because I want it to be firing and I want there to be zero chances of it backfiring or not shooting. That's the same thing as when we set up our day, from the calendar to the CRM to the appointments, everything that we run. It's super important. But let me ask you this. For those of you right now, like, I have a question for you. I want you to be honest. Be 100% transparent. If you have the courage, put it in the chat. If not, write it down on your piece of paper. What percentage in the last 48 hours have you contributed to income producing activities? Write it down or put it in the chat. Okay. If your number is not 80% of income producing activities, that right there is your revenue ceiling. It's just the facts. So I'm going to get into some things now, and let's just start off. We're going to start the day. We're going to start the foundation, because you can learn all the word checks, you can learn all the right stuff, but if you don't have the right structure in place, you're setting yourself up for failure. There's no way to scale it. You don't have a team of 100 people yet. So when you start your day, the first thing that you do when you come in, you're going to open up everything on your computer. And if there's anybody like, well, why are you talking about all that? This right here, this is the system for consistency and duplication. Andy said it a long time ago, and I wrote that stuff down, and I've have it wrote on. It's in every one of my notes on my phone at my house. The person that can duplicate themselves can write as big as a check as they want to for the Elliott Group. They're the most valuable person. The person that can duplicate themselves is the most valuable person in the company. This foundation is how you're able to duplicate yourself. Because one day, if you want to grow big, you want to do it big, you're going to have to hire a team. But if you don't have a process that's proven that you've went through yourself, how in the heck are you going to be able to teach it to your team? So the first thing, number one, you're going to open up your CRM. You're going to open up your pipelines. You're going to open up your calendar. And on the left side of your screen, you need to have your calendar up. It's up all day long. So that way you can see all of your appointments. I love Google Calendar. That's the one that we use. And then on the right side of your screen, it's going to be your CRM. It's going to be the different pipelines that you have. It's going to be all nice and organized so that way you know where it's at every single time. And if you do not have a CRM, that's problem number one, because you cannot grow what you cannot see. Okay? Number two, tasks. Not busy, not to-do list tasks, revenue tasks, tasks for money. So inside of our training, we have a little deal where it's like we have tasks for money due today. So if we have somebody that was on a payment plan, we need to collect. If we have somebody that said that they'll sign up on this date when they get X, Y, and Z, we are going to do the income producing activities first. That's what we're going to do, because guess what? When is a human the most optimized, the most energetic, and has the most energy? It's when they wake up. It's when they wake up. They go to the gym, they got the endorphins flowing. By the end of the day, you're going to hear me slurring, and I'm doing all kinds of crazy stuff with my words because I've been here since 7:30 a.m. on the phone and Zoom calls all day. It's just define income producing activities: making phone calls, reaching out to people that is hot leads in terms of like deals that you have, stuff that generates revenue. Okay, if it's DMing a client, if you don't have any leads for right now for you, that's the lowest income producing activity you have because you don't have many leads coming in. But anything, an income producing activity is anything to do with what you're doing is a income producing activity. What you're doing is correlating to getting revenue and putting it inside of your company. And then number three, you have deals that we like to call red zones. Is anybody familiar with football? Okay, like you get into a certain role, you get into a certain place, it's called the red zone. That means you're about to score a touchdown. Your red zone is your hottest deals. These are the people that are closest to saying yes. This is the people that you want to put your best energy with early on, as soon as you get started, because that's when you're the sharpest and that's when you're the most focused. You want to do that, the income producing activities, you want to do red zone. You want to get everything that you have right out of the gate. You want to collect momentum. And when I say collect momentum, if you've ever sold anything in your life, I've never felt bad after selling anything. It always feels good. So that's what you want to get early on. Okay. And then guess what? After we do all that stuff, you know what I'm going to do? Before our team meeting, before everything, I've got 5 or 6 Zoom appointments already booked. I'm going to go and confirm every single one of those deals, because don't rely on Calendly or any automation to confirm your appointments. Okay. Because most of the time they send in a green message and it looks like spam. It looks like everybody else's. If you want to know a hack to get more people to show up, send them a message from an iPhone that has a blue bubble. Personally, we all have CRMs. We all have numbers. We want our team to reach out to the CRM, but it's just the statistics prove that a blue iPhone message gets more people to show up to a call than anything else. So maybe we have to bend some rules, but guess what? You all are coaches. You're not in a big company. Text them from your iPhone. Make sure that they show up. You already put in the work to get the appointment booked. Make sure they show up. Another thing, people have no-show appointments. Those leads are not, if a person does not show up, that doesn't mean the lead is dead. Because those at one point in time, those people literally raised their hand, said, I'm interested, I want to get on a call, I'm going to book it. Don't let them disappear. I'm going to do a big overview on this, but in Go High Level in your CRM, you have pipelines, right? And for some pipelines, for us, we have a scheduled appointment pipeline, and right beside it, we have a no-show rescheduled. So that means if somebody doesn't make their appointment, we're going to put them in the bucket where it says appointment no-showed rescheduled. So that way we know. And then guess what? On our calendar, since it's time blocked, we can go to it on the times where it says go through this pipeline. And all I got to do is go over to this pipeline, and I have 20 people in there that's no-showed or rescheduled. That's a problem. I need to have way less than that. I need to get them on the calendar or remove them and figure out what happened. And then this is something that's super important before we get into the really exciting stuff. Before every call that you get on, you don't want to show up blind, okay? Like every person before I get on a Zoom call with them, I have all the notes displayed in my CRM. I have my notepad and pen and paper ready to rock and roll because I don't want to be caught off guard. I want to know everything I possibly can, so that way it puts me in the best position to get the call to where I want it to go, which is obviously a sale. And if you get on there and you don't know how, if you're just winging it, well, that's when you have hour-long calls. You don't want to be consistently having hour-long calls talking about things that's not productive inside the conversation. Does that make sense? Okay. I love it. So with that being said, owning the day, okay? This is the execution. This is where the money is made. And this is where a lot of people lose. Like by blocking off your calendar, because you guys may not have a big office to go to. You guys are probably working out of your house. You probably have something going on. You might have kids. You got a lot of stuff going on. If you're working full-time or if you're working part-time as a coach, you need to have very structured and be very anal with your time. Okay? Because when you're sitting at the house, dishes always need to be made if you're single, I'm blessed I'm not having to be that role. But there's so many different things, garbage. There's so many different things that need to be done. But when you're at work, you need to be work, even if you're at home. So that means your calendar, you need to live by it. It needs to be sectioned out and if you guys want that, I have a whole screenshot of exactly what ours looks like. I'll give it to you. Just DM me. Send me, say calendar. I'll send you a screenshot of what my calendar looks like. It's nasty, but I love it because I don't hardly miss anything and I get a lot of stuff done because I can see it all day long and I have certain time blocks for certain things that I need to do. So I'll give you some examples. Block 1. For me, it's called Who's Got My Money? Okay, what does that mean? That means I'm going to be calling people that I've either made an offer to or somebody that I believe is in the red zone where I can close. Example, another block. I have dial new leads. We have a CRM, we have a dialer. So, I mean, just literally feeding all new leads every single day. So maybe 3 times a week, because I do a lot of referrals and stuff, 3 times a week, I have it in my calendar where then I go and I get on the dialer to generate some more leads. And then let's say the third block, client retention upsell pipeline. What does that mean? Well, client retention, I want to be continuously staying in front of the people that's already invested with me. But when I'm also doing that, guess what? If it's time for an upsell for them to go into one of our bigger coaching programs, great, let's do it. If it's time for we're having a relationship and guess what? We get a referral from them. That's the 3 things that I do that with. Twice a week, I have a 2-hour block, Tuesdays and Thursdays, where I'm calling all of my past clients. And if they're ready, I'm upselling them into a program, making sure they're okay. And then I'm asking for referrals, which is the easiest deals any of you have ever gotten in your entire life, same as myself. And then at the end of the day, I have it literally blocked off where I go in I have a team here and I will go through and I will look at all the deals that they've made in the last 2 days. And then I will call the deals that they didn't close and close them because it's just crazy that just a second perspective will just generate a deal just like that. And it takes 15 minutes max. So currently that's what I have added to my time block the last couple of months. But here's something that's super important. When you end your day, you don't just log off of the computer. Like the last 15 minutes of your day determines the success of how you start tomorrow. Okay. So the first thing that I do before I leave the office the first thing that I do before I leave my office is, you guys know what KPIs are? I'm letting in those people right now. Thank you for sending that. Key performance indicators. Let me see here. Andy's thing is so weird. Okay, let's admit all of them. Okay, they all join in now. Before I leave the office, what do? I update my KPI tracker. How many calls did I make? How many conversations did I have? How many offers did I do? If I can't answer those questions with exact numbers, I'm guessing. And that goes the same for you. If you don't have the exact KPIs of your numbers, how are you going to determine how you grow? Just off hopium, feel good energy? It doesn't work that way. You have to track them. And I'm going to say them again. The most important things is going to be, how many calls did you make? How many people answered the call? How many appointments did you set? How many offers did you make? That's some of the most important ones. I think we have a total of 12 that we track for our guys, because that's the main data that we're tracking. Number 2 is, you have to log your deals. Every deal that you close, every deal that you made an offer to. Don't be a bozo and not update your CRM with all the information that you talked about with a client. Because if you actually look at this like a business, and you're not going to just start it and quit it, like if you actually look at this like a business, wouldn't it be nice if you could go into your CRM and know every conversation that you had with them, know everything that you offered them, know every program that they're in that's inside of with your company? Of course. Logging information, we use Go High Level. Logging information is a boring, mundane task, but it's what makes you look like a professional. And also, not only for you being like, I'm a pro, but also your clients know, hey, I haven't talked to this guy in 2 years. I sent him a message the other day. I asked how him and his wife Missy was doing, and the 3 kids. I wouldn't remember that if I didn't put it in the notes. I wouldn't remember that. So if you ever wanted to reach out to people because maybe it's slow, maybe there's something you got going on, maybe you have an event, you want to reach out to them, but you don't want to be like, hey, you want to come to this event? Hey, you want to do this new thing? John, what's up, brother? Hope all is well. Checking on you and Missy. How's everything going? Most people don't do that. Most people don't remember their spouse's name. I always write that on my notes, spouse and kids, every single time. And that was number 2 for like logging your deals, putting everything in your CRM, making sure everything's tracking correctly. And then number 3 is like prepping for the next day. Who's your hot list? Who are you going to target? Is there some people that you need to really hit early on in the morning? Okay, cool. I'd probably put them in my calendar so that way I can know to reach out to them ASAP. Before you shut down your computer, you should already know everything that you're going to be doing tomorrow morning. You wake up, everything's already planned. There's no question about it. And then before I go home, or sometimes even when I do go home, like, you need to clean up your messages. It's very hard sometimes when you're getting 100 text messages a day, but it's super important that you reply to all of your messages in the CRM and all the messages on your phone before the next day, because some of those text messages is probably a deal that you could be setting up for tomorrow. So start off on a clean slate. And here's something that's this is a little crazy. If you're not like doing some of these things, you're really not running a business. I would look at it as like, you have a hobby and then you have revenue tied to the hobby. Okay. Because the coaches that are doing $15, $25, $30, $50,000 a month, they're the ones who operate like this, that are OCD, that are crazy. And even if they don't have like an operations brain or a structured mind, they're setting themselves up for failure. They're setting themselves up for failure because they need to remove all of the tabs in their brain so that way they don't have to think. They just look at a calendar and then they operate. So important. So many people miss that. That was literally a game changer for our entire company. Instead of being the wild, wild west, everybody running their own play, now there's no question. What are you going to do today? Shoot, I'll click on their damn calendar and see what they're going to do. Same thing with me, because they have access to mine. So I know we hit on this earlier, but I want to see if anybody will put it in the chat. Okay. The last 48 hours, right? That's the last 2 days. Brooke, how much time? I want to see some people drop it in the chat. Not many people did it. What percentage in the last 2 days did you do income producing activities? I want to see. I'm not going to call you out. I just want to see it. Okay. 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 80, 40, 30. I see them all. There we go. I love it. Hey, listen, the person that can self-correct is forever wealthy. Never forget that. The person that can self-correct is forever wealthy. That's just the facts. And for some reason, there's a bunch of people that's showing up late into the waiting room. So we're going to let them in too. Come on. Admit. Beautiful. Okay. So if your percentage was below 80, ask yourself why. Some people are traveling, some people do this, but throughout the week, majority of your time, like while you're working, 80% should be income producing activities, because it's so easy to fall into building out scripts, doing all this different stuff, looking up content. Like, it's so easy to do all that stuff, and it's so fulfilling because it releases dopamine in our brains. But it's not an income producing activity. And if you really want to put your best foot forward and give you the best chances to really grow your business, you're going to have to be rolling. You're going to have to be rolling with income producing activities until you can start building a team. And then once you start building a team, you get a VA, you do all this stuff, then obviously it changes a little bit. But still, you need to be out there hunting, unless you have a sales team that's better than you at closing. And that's rare. But here's the deal. What I've noticed a lot is most coaches, like, especially in our industry, like, they have this weird feeling of like closing and selling or being pushy or thinking it's like manipulative. But if they think that their offer is good enough, people think that their offer is just good enough that people will buy. But that is so far from the truth. That is a lie. That is a myth. And that myth is what keeps most people broke. I was literally on the phone call with a lady the other day, and she told me she was scared to make her offer. I said, well, let me ask you this. Like, does your offer help people? Yeah, it helps people. Okay. Well, if it helps people and you could actually help them quit their 9-to-5 job and then get a job in terms of, like, not a job, but actually build a business where they could help other people, ain't that doing them a good thing? Yeah. So what you're saying is every time that you don't push or get somebody to invest in your coaching program, you're doing them a disservice. It's all leashes. It's all a leash in our head. And then she sent me her recording after that, and we watched it, and she closed the deal. It's crazy. Selling is literally an act of leadership. And if you believe in what you've got, there's no reason why you shouldn't get somebody to invest with you, because you know that's going to help them. Now, if your offer doesn't do that, well, it's probably going to be hard for you to try to convince somebody to do something. You know what I'm saying? It's just the truth. It's just the truth. So let's go over some objections, okay? Can we do that? Can we do some objections really quick? Okay, cool. We'll rip through a few of them. Okay, we're 30 minutes in. So a big one that we get, let's see, who's on here? Who wants to be my role play partner? Just
Jesse,
really
I have
quick.
a question though, real quick.
It's just simple. It's just simple little things. I'll be the one. You can be the
Can you
prospect.
talk
I'll
to
be
the, like, when you
the
do the
salesperson or
team?
whatever, the closer. Brooke, can you hear me?
Can you hear me? I wanted to
Oh
ask a
my
question
gosh,
before you
why
move
can't I
on.
hear? That is so crazy.
Can everybody else hear me?
Oh yeah, it was the volume.
Okay.
Mad.
I
Oh,
want to ask a question before you move on though,
yeah,
with building, because like obviously, when you're doing fulfillment with coaching calls, right? What percentage do you think that our KPIs should be when I've got two team members doing a lot of the lead generation too? So what are those percentages look like then?
what that boils down to is it's going to be like how big your business is, how many clients do you have, and if your offer is obviously selling your time, well, you're going to have to fulfill and do all the things that you said you was going to do. So on those days, I would personally have certain like Tuesdays and Thursdays is when I like to do my coaching calls. You can call it that, like my one-on-ones with different people. I like to break it up, and I like to have days specifically just for coaching because for me, I don't like having a coaching call, selling, reaching out, calling, having a coaching call, selling. I want to be in flow state. And it's hard for me to stay in flow state. I'm not a freak. I'm not Andy Elliott. He could do this shit in his sleep. But that's not me, unfortunately. But God willing, we're still here. We're growing. But I would allocate certain days to where they're coaching or building days. Once you get to a certain point in business, I would have those 2 days where I'm not necessarily just hunting, looking for deals, in doing income producing activities. Those 2 days, I would have my calendar time blocked for where I'm running my coaching calls. If you do Zoom calls, I would have them on the certain days, and I would stack all of my one-on-ones and everything that I had to do on certain days. So that way I could focus completely on that and not have to worry about like closing and doing all that stuff. Sweet. So Brooke, you want to be my role play partner?
I guess.
Oh, yeah, right. This is great. This is great. This is what we need. So somebody says, I can't afford it. They're not telling you that they're not telling you about their bank account. Okay. They're telling you that they just haven't seen the value yet, or there's some type of uncertainty. So Brooke, just say, hey, I don't have the money right now.
Okay, I don't have the money right now.
First thing we're going to do is we're going to isolate it. Okay. Money out of the question. Do you feel like this would actually help you get to where you want to go? Like, would you do it? Money aside?
I feel like most people are gonna say yes. Like I could see that this could be helpful. Yeah.
Okay. Why? And if pause, if they don't say they would do it, money aside, that means you didn't build enough value or find enough pain because they generally don't see that your offer could help them. Then you're screwed.
Do you want me to go that route instead?
No, 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 no. Because
Okay.
99% of the people,
I feel like most people say like,
yeah,
yeah, I mean, if I had the money, like I would give
yeah,
it to you. I would do it, right?
yeah, and 99% of the people are going to say yes because I mean, you wouldn't be 30 minutes into a call and get here and be like, no, I don't think it would help. What bozo would you do all day? What the freak? Anyways,
Mhm.
okay. So for you, Brooke, time in.
Yeah.
Why? Like, why would you for like, okay, where was that? Money out of the equation, would you do it?
Yeah, I mean, if I had the money, I would do it.
Okay,
Yeah.
why would you? Like for you personally though.
Who would I? Okay. I want to advance, so I feel like I'd probably talk about my goals. Like I want to advance. I want things to be different. Um, and something needs to change. It's not going the right direction now, so something needs to change, and I don't know what needs to change.
Okay. Well, I'm curious, Brooke, and like, how do you view money? Like, do you view money as like a problem, or is it like a symptom to the problem? Because obviously, like if you had learned the skills, like what would you have more of?
Money?
Listen, Brooke, I can help with the investment, but what I cannot help you with is the commitment. To be
Mm,
willing to actually change, to get to making the 30, 40, $50,000 a month. So is that something that you're actually committed to?
mm, that's good. I like that phrase. Yeah.
Answer.
Yes. Okay. Yes.
Okay. Why are
I
you
mean,
though?
I would commit to myself. Yeah.
Why are you though? Because you don't have to.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Okay. That's really good. That's a good question.
And then you know what they're gonna say, just role play. So
Yeah,
why are you
like my family's counting on me and I need to do something. I need to be able to pay, I need to contribute to the bills or something like that.
and if that's the case, they generally may need, like, if that's a logistical issue, they generally may need a payment plan. Okay. So this is where I'd be like, okay, so I guess if I was able to, like, break down the investment just to help it be more measurable for you, like, so you can actually put you and your family in the best situation, like, would that be something you'd be willing to do?
I'm just nervous because I feel like I've invested in things before and it didn't work out before.
Okay. So
So
this is a different objection. So what she just
do you
give you,
want me to keep going? Because I feel
no,
like you break them down and then they sidetrack, right?
correct. So when that happens, what we just had is fear. And that fear sounds like they've tried something in the past and it didn't work. So that's a whole nother rabbit hole. And I think that's actually we'll get to that one. We'll get to that one.
Okay,
But
do you want me to stay
go
on
down, let's
course?
just say stay on course on this one.
Okay,
So I guess if like we were able to break up the
break it
investment
down.
to help you make, well, like, would it be more measurable for you so that way you can put yourself and your family in the best position? Like,
So like, what if I say something like, okay, but I like my budget right now probably would only be X amount per month, and that feels insulting, like to you.
No worries at all. Well, let me ask you this. Like, if we did find a way where we could make it more manageable for you, would this be something that you'd actually be willing to actually do?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, why though? Because you don't have to. How would you do it if we could figure it out?
Okay, so you want me to make something up. Yeah, because I mean I want something to be different. I do want to change. I want to do this. This is something I set myself to do. I decided I was going to do it, and I'm ready.
Okay. And this is where you figure out like how much dough do they got? Can we help them? Let's find out. Okay, Brooke. So like, just to see if I could help, like cash on hand, money under the mattress, like how much do you actually have to invest into the training so that way you can learn the skills, build the business, and obviously give your family a better life than what you're currently in now?
Mm.
Just how much?
What's the price offer? What's the offer?
It don't matter. Just give me a range.
Okay. Okay, let's say like what if I said like 2,500?
Okay. They have $2,500. Does that buy your coaching program in full, but then they don't have anything to eat for lunch or dinner or buy the kids anything food? Or is that 2,500 bucks? They're single man or woman and they could invest in your coaching program because it's 2,000. I don't know. But from that way, so let's say I was selling a $5,000 offer, they said they had 2,500 bucks. I'd be like, okay, you got $5,000. So what I would go into, it'd be diverting into getting a payment plan. I don't like doing payment plans because a lot of people don't fulfill on their payment plans. It's just the truth. I don't like doing them. So if that was the case and they had 2,500 bucks, maybe I would create an offer to where they could pay half now and half in 30 days. But here's the deal. If that's all their money, how are they going to buy their food? How are they going to do all this stuff?
Hmm.
Depending on the situation. I put my back against the wall when I was 18 and I couldn't even have money to buy lunch at work the next day. I literally maxed out my credit card for $1,000. And that wasn't a bunch, but it was a bunch to me. I was an 18-year-old kid. But to me, it was worth it
Yeah.
because I believed in Andy so much when he closed me on it that there was no way that I would say no, right? But that's how much belief that I had in Andy. But the goal with what we just did right here is to figure out how much money do they have, and then does it make sense for you to even does it make sense for you to put a payment plan together for them? That's the whole main goal of that question. So, who likes the partner objection? I got to talk to my spouse. That one right there. That I believe that was the trickiest one for me. It really was. Over the last 8 years I've been in sales, I believe the spouse was the most trickiest one because like Brooke, let's say that you have to speak to your husband. Let's say Brooke, you're a independent woman and you're the breadwinner of the house. Is that fair?
Yeah, true.
Okay, Brooke, you tell me, hey, I need to talk to my husband first. Hey,
Okay.
okay, no worries, Brooke. Like, partner aside, like, do you feel like what we went over could actually help you get to where you want to go? Yes or no?
Yes.
Okay. Why do you though? Like personally, like why do you feel like it can?
What do people usually say here? Yeah, I mean the same stuff I said earlier. I feel like, I really like the program. I like that I can do it on my own time. I like that there's flexibility in it. And I see the value in the coaching and everything that I'm going to be getting.
Okay. What I would say back to that would be something in like, Brooke, can I share a perspective in like a different way on why
Yeah,
the
what do you want me to say there? Like for
decision?
sure.
Well, it's all good. Let me get another one. Let's
Yeah.
say Casey. Casey, come off. Casey, you got to talk to your wife. Can you hear me?
Sorry, the wife was talking.
What's up, handsome? Let's go. Hey, so they say, hey, Jesse, like, Casey, the program is $5,000. How would you like to proceed? And you say, hey, I need to talk to my wife.
All right, yeah, I need to talk to my wife.
Hey, no worries, Casey. No harm at all. But like, wife aside for a second, like, do you believe this would actually help you get to where you're wanting to go? Like, do you believe this would actually help you get to where you're wanting to go in terms of building your coaching business?
Oh, 100%.
Okay. Why do
But
you feel that way? Like for you straight up, like personally, like why do you feel like it can though?
because it gives me the guidance that I need,
Okay.
obviously, and instead of just sort of winging it, trying to do it myself, I'm just tired of trying to do that.
Yeah.
Um, and everything that you're putting out will just make sense.
Mhm.
So, but as much as it's makes sense, still need to, yeah, consult with the other
Okay. Well,
half.
Can I share a perspective in a different way that on why this decision may not be the best for you?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so at the end of the day, Casey, like whose responsibility is it to like learn the skills, implement the training, and do the work? Is it like for you personally right now, like do you feel like once you learn these skills, like you're going to be able to put you and your wife in a better position?
Oh, 100%. Yeah.
Okay, does your wife like believe in you like as much as you believe in yourself?
To be honest, probably even more.
Okay, so let
That's
me
that's
ask
why I
you
always
this.
go to them and go like, is this the right decision? Because I
I love
kind of trust them more than I trust myself.
that. So let me ask you this: do you feel like she would be opposed to you learning the skills so that way you guys can have a better future together?
No, but I mean, if it's going to better me,
Okay,
then
well,
no.
because like the version of who you are right now, like obviously wants to speak to their partner because that's probably how you've always done things, right? And,
Yeah.
that's good.
Team.
That's it's okay, but that's
Mm,
the comfortable way of doing it. But
mm,
the question is like brother to brother, where do humans grow? Like in a place of comfort or discomfort?
discomfort.
Okay, so like the version of yourself, Casey, like the person who wants to be, making 20, 30, $40,000 a month, who is putting himself in the right position to get there, like right here, right now, what would he do? Like, would he make the uncomfortable decision? And you could tell me no, you can tell me
Yeah.
whatever you want to. I'm just rolling.
No, yeah, it's the version of me 20, 30, 40. That's a better version of me. So you'd definitely be more confident.
Okay, so would like he take the responsibility and like on his shoulders and do the things he knows he needs to do to put him and his family in the best position, or would he just let the fear of uncertainty overcome who he is?
No. You would take that responsibility because that's what you're meant
Okay.
to do as a leader and as for your family and even more so as a man.
Okay. So let me ask you this. With that being said, like what do you feel you should do from here?
Lead, which I guess that means make the decision.
Okay. You don't have
That's
to. You
family.
can keep doing the same things you're doing now, or we could just put a proven plan, plan in place to help you get to where you want to go a little bit faster. But the question that we need to ask ourselves is like, what's the uncomfortable decision that you know you need to make right here, right now? So that way, when you put your head down on your pillow tonight, you know you've done everything possible to put you, your wife, and your whole family in the best position possible to win.
Mhm.
So what are we going to do? And here's something else. Here's something else. I was trying to do that really slow, but here's also another way. Okay. So if you're ever talking to another coach, which if you guys are selling other coaches, this right here, like I've shut down so many coaches in terms of doing this. So if somebody's like, hey, I got to talk to my wife, Jesse, I'll say, okay, cool. Can I ask you something really quick, Casey? Like
Mm.
you're a coach too, right?
Mhm.
Want to learn? Okay, like how would you handle that objection?
How would I handle that
Yeah,
objection?
handle that. Like how would you? You told me I need to talk to my wife. How would you handle that?
I guess I would sort of, yeah, ask them, or how
Okay,
much, how much,
can I show you
how
how to
much,
handle
how
it?
much
Do
does
you
your
see what
wife
I did?
trust you?
You see
You
what I
know?
did? Because most people don't know how to
Mm.
overcome it. Even if you have something to say, it's better than nothing. But words,
Mm.
like a sniper. So do you see what I just did? He's like, well, can I show you how to overcome it? Yeah, man, go ahead.
Mhm.
Okay, good. Okay, so you kind of can't overcome it because it's really like a belief system, right?
Mm.
And that belief system that says that this is valid, because
Mm.
because like the key to like handling is understanding responsibility. I'll give you an example. If I have a guy who's fat, he's 50 pounds overweight, and he has to lose the weight. Casey, whose responsibility is it for that guy to lose the weight?
Well, the guy,
Why him? Why not somebody else?
because it's his weight and it's his life.
Okay, why can't it be his wife's? Why can't she lose the weight for him?
Because that's not how it works. Like he's
Exactly.
responsible.
Exactly. So like the same way for
Damn
you,
it!
like
No, I changed my answer. Oh, let me change my answer.
like
It's a
you're
trick.
like let me ask you this, Casey. Like, is your wife going to be on the sales trainings, doing the sales calls? Is she going to be in the CRM doing the work, or is that going to
No,
be
that's on
you?
me. Yeah, that's on me.
Okay.
Mm.
So is she going to be the one collecting cash, making the commission on it, or is that you too?
That's me.
Okay, so the same way with the fat guy, like
Mm.
whose responsibility? Like the
Me.
fat guy, like do you feel like do you really feel like when you learn these skills, like to put yourself in a position to get you to where you want to go to get to your targets, like you believe that all this stuff will actually help you? Yes. Okay.
Yeah.
So it's your responsibility. So for you as the provider and the leader as the household, Casey, whose like whose decision do you feel like with the responsibilities and everything that you have going on, like what decision that you feel like you need to make? Put yourself in the position to where you're learning the skills, you're building the business, you're hitting the targets, and you're able to travel and do all these things with her?
100%.
Okay.
Yeah.
So for you, if it was Casey, this is what I'd say to him. So for you, the guy wearing the pants, like the guy that wants to learn the skills, what does he do right here, right now?
He makes his decision.
But you have to know your prospects. Because if you're female, I wouldn't say that. I told people literally, like you see your right hand, pick it up, look at it, and I'm going to put it right between your legs and you squeeze. That's called balls. That's what we need a little bit more of in this world, a little masculinity, right? But it's different. If it's a female, I would never do some stuff like that. But I say some crazy off the wall stuff that most people shouldn't say. But people know that I'm generally just cutting up and having a good time with them because that's just the presence that I bring. Every
Could I
single is going to have different characteristics and different superpowers.
could I say one objection that I have said in the past?
Yeah, hit me.
Um, so if I was going to make an investment and and I was like, this investment is what I've been putting away for saving, and I'm worried that and the amount they're asking is pretty much the equivalence, and I'm worried that if I do this and it doesn't work, then you're right, like the responsibility very much falls on me. So then what if I fail? And then I feel like I let down my family, and that's why I feel like I don't know if I can make this decision by myself.
Okay. So give me is this a client saying something like, what's the specific objection, what they said? Like is it that they've been burned before or like what specifically was it? I'll just roll
Just worried that if I do this, then and it doesn't work, then because now I don't have that safe money to take care of my family.
So let me ask you this. What if it does? What if this is a thing you've been putting off, which is called fear? What if this is the fear that you've been putting off of doing something to actually put yourself in a better position? Because there's only a few things in life, right? That's guaranteed. It's death and taxes. Okay. But one thing that I can guarantee and ensure that our program, if you follow it step for step, if you're coachable, if you do the work, there's reasons we have all these testimonials. So my question would be to you is like, how committed are you actually willing to become? Like how committed are you going to be to actually doing the work and showing up? Like, are you committed there?
I'll do everything. Anything.
Okay. So do you know like the couple objections that I talked about earlier? I literally went down like it's literally the same things over and over and over. But for you, that would be maybe like a fear-based objection. He has some type of fear. So earlier in the call, like in your discovery in your script, you should have found out like, has he invested in anything before? Did it work? Did it not work? And why? Give me a scenario, Casey, of like this person right here. Has he ever invested in anything before? Like what happened to him? Because it's going to be different every single time. Nothing's going to be exactly the same every time, but it's all going to have the same frameworks.
No, it's and what I'm saying, this is actually of real me. Like this, I was the client at the time. And yeah, my reason for them was that I had invested before in a large amount and it didn't deliver.
Okay. Well, I would hit them with a spouse reframe. So I'd be like, you just said, Jesse, I've tried like this before and it didn't work. Okay. I'd be like, Casey, like, have you ever had like a girlfriend before in the past?
Yeah.
Yeah. Have they like ever hurt you or let you down?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, if they did, does that mean that you're just going to stop looking for women and you're just going to never pursue women again? Or does that mean you're never going to try again?
No, obviously. No.
Why not? Why not? Because you got burnt there. Why not? Because you could.
Because they're not all the same.
Okay. So Elon Musk, famous guy, love him or hate him. Like, do you know how many businesses that guy started before he had like big time success with what he has now? It was like 9 or 10. It was something crazy. So for you, Casey, like, why would you give up on the first, second, third, even fourth attempt? Because what will happen if you do give up and you don't do anything? Like, what's going to continue to happen if you don't do something?
Nothing changes.
Okay. So
We'll,
the
we'll
question
just
we need
get
to ask ourselves, the question we need to ask ourselves is like, are you willing to settle for that? Because you can, and most people do. Okay. So what do you feel like the version of you who told me, who has the big mansion on the hill, that has the family and the beautiful wife and the kids, making 50, 60, $70,000 a month, what would he do right here, right now? Would he commit? Would he
100%.
overcome uncertainty, or would he let it overcome him?
If I was making that sort of money, it means that I would have committed.
So where should we go from here?
Let's do it.
Reframes, everything. So, does anybody else have anything? Any other objections?
What if, so back to the partner one, what if they just say like, hey, uh, respectfully, we talk through all of our big investments.
That's true. And that's for you in terms of like, I want to help you specifically. Is this like men or women telling you that?
Mostly women if they need, yeah, mostly women for me specifically.
Well, are they the breadwinners or the house, or like what's the
Probably not. Usually not
okay.
yet.
That's a tough one, but it is overcomable.
I
But
usually tell them that I would be happy to talk to their partner as well. And I usually ask like if they, if they support them and going for support rather than asking for permission. And there's like things I go through with them and making sure they feel confident and why they want to do it. All those things you said. But
if
I
that's
just
a
didn't know if you had
normal
a trick.
that's a normal thing, I would almost be booking my calls with both of them on there.
Mm.
And I would frame it in a way of like this, Brooke, I would love to get on a call with you. I've got a lot of stuff going on, and obviously, like you and your spouse, you said you do everything together. He's married, he's the one that's doing this, and you're wanting to do this on the side, right? So why don't we do this? I want to make sure that he fully understands this, because the last thing that I want to do is show you everything of how amazing it all is, but him not be able to see it all. So I'm looking at my calendar right now. Could you look at his? You have his calendar. Let's see when we could get together, because I know that happens for you a lot. And I feel like getting both of them on the call and them seeing your energy, the man and the woman, I think that would help you out particularly a lot more.
Cool, cool. And then what about like, so the objection I've been thinking about a lot lately is almost like it's like an inner one. I don't think it would come out first. I think it would have to come out in conversation. But the idea of, you know, I've I've promised myself I wasn't going to spend any more money.
Mhm.
I told myself I wasn't going to spend any more money. I don't want to spend more money, but I know I need something. But like you know what I mean? It's like that self-promise. So I don't know if it would be the first thing that they say, but I feel like it's what a lot of people are thinking.
Well, why you need to figure out why, right? You need to isolate the objection, figure out what's the root cause of that why. Because if you don't really know, there's no way you could solve it. So
Can you
figuring that out specifically for whoever you're talking to is going to be the most important
can you
thing.
give an example of like what that would look like?
Yes. Give me an example of like a deeper scenario so I can go deeper.
I mean, I feel like that though. Like, I feel like that sometimes where it's like, okay, like I made many investments this year. It's not that I'm not going to invest again. It's just that I did a lot. Like it's like I've already invested a lot and things are great. It's just like is it that I just need to execute or is it that I really need to invest again on something else on a different avenue or something like
I
that? Like
would look back and I would see, okay, what have I invested in? And
mhm.
I do everything that I take advantage of the money that I spent in a certain place. If I didn't, why didn't I? And then I would decide, okay, do I need to take action on all the things that I've done? Like, do I need to finish what I've started right here? Or did I purchase something that was really good and awesome, but it really doesn't solve a problem that I'm having in my current business right now?
So you would just kind of like talk them through like your
I would
previous
figure it out. Yeah.
investments, things like
I
that.
mean,
Okay.
the
Yeah.
business is chess. We don't play checkers in business. It's chess, and the best people are 5, 10 moves ahead. So I would literally look at everything, look at my business, what's going on, what's working, where do I need the most help? What do I need to do that's going to drive the revenue? What do I need to do to have more income producing activities? What does that look like? That's the path and plan that I would go through. That's it.
Cool. I'll let you know when I have one that actually like comes up. I just think that people they make that decision in their head, right? They promise themselves,
Totally.
oh, I'll sign a client and then I can pay you, right?
Totally. So I have a question. We got Jake, Debbie, Luke, John. What all do y'all getting? Are y'all getting like sales calls every week frequently? Like, do you guys getting some objections that you guys get?
No, I'm not getting any right now. I just got to get leads. So I've just been doing like social media and stuff. Cause I have a wholesale business. It was like the first business I built, and now I'm doing this because like I'm more passionate about it. So now I'm just like building the brand. Just like I'm just trying to get appointments on my calendar, bro, so I can talk to people.
I
That's like
love
my
it.
biggest thing.
I love it. Well, if nobody has any objections, I'll go into Q&A. If you guys have any questions about anything, I'm totally cool with that.
Jesse, Nick has one in the chat.
I don't even know how to pull the chat up right now. Let's see what he says. Nick. Oh, Nick, what's up, dude? I think I know that guy. It's Coach Nick. See, I don't even have his
Yes, sir. What's
phone.
going on, bro?
What's up, dude? For some reason, it's not letting me pull it up full screen.
Yeah,
Okay,
so
okay,
yeah.
Does
No,
Nick have the best mustache you guys have ever seen? Oh my
it
gosh.
melted a little bit from being in the boxing gym today, but yeah. So yeah, Jesse, I pitched a couple of programs for an at-home workout. It was a 5-week and a 10-week, and I give people a sample 1 week. They love the program, and I'm like, okay, great. So for the 10-week program, it's $997. For the 5-week program, $497. Listen, I love the workout. Everything was great. Do you see it's going to help you with your goals? Do you see it's going to keep you consistent, keep you accountable? Yes, 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 yes. I just don't have the money. Okay, well, what we could do is we could split into 2 payments. And so instead of 500 up front, we'll do 250 for the first 2 weeks, and then you do the other 250. I still don't have the money. Okay, well, we can put it on a credit card.
Money aside, Nick, like just to see if I could help, like how much do you even have like to invest just to see if I could help?
$100.
We could give them the payment plan, but unless we have the ideal number of what we could do, which you just said $100, then you got to decide. Is there something you could help them with for $100?
No.
If so, do it. If not,
because like the downsell is the 5-week program. Because I'm trying to do a 10-week program. I'm downselling to a 5-week program and offering credit card and offering to chop it in half. And they see the value, they love it. It's not like, oh, well, well, I'll think about it. And if I could see if someone's genuinely not interested, then they're not going to do it. But like, it's just that if someone goes to like, hey, I loved everything, I just don't have the money right now. I'll circle back to you when I get the money. And it's like, okay, well, look, you said you probably want to make your goals. You can always make back more money. You're not going to get your time and your health back and the skills. So why don't we get you started now? So that way you don't not only not do it now, but you'll be further in the hole. You're going to call me back in 6 months when you wish you would have got started and you'll be further in that hole. Let's get you started. And yeah, no, listen, it was great. Thank you, Coach Nick. I don't have the money right now. It's a tough one.
it's hard to sell people that don't have money, but do you know how you sell them though? They have to get resourceful, and you can't just tell them they have to get resourceful. So when you say you don't have the money, like money aside, like how much do you even have to invest to see if I can help? Oh, I have $100. Well, I mean, there's not much that I could do for $100,
Yeah.
If they say, 500 or 2,000 or whatever. Okay. Well, let me ask you this. Like there's a version of you, like a version of the person that you want to be, that has the goals, life, dreams, aspirations that you want to have. That guy that has everything that you want, what would he do in this situation to get resourceful to come up with the investment? Would he take out a loan? Would he pull out a credit card? Would he go borrow money from his aunt, uncle, and his cousin? Like, what would he do to actually become resourceful to put himself in a position to actually take advantage of this?
Yeah, no, Jesse, I definitely want to do it. I just need to save up a little bit of money. So after I save up some money for 3, 4 months, I'll call you back when I'm ready to get started.
Yeah, that's totally cool. But let me ask you this before I get off here. So, like the version of yourself, like the one that has all the goals and dreams that you told me that you wanted, the guy that's making $20,000 a month doing all these things. Obviously, you're not selling that, but anyways, the guy that's doing all the things that you want to do, that guy, like if he was here right now and I was talking to you, but it was him, the guy that you want to be, like what would he do to get this training?
Yeah, man, he would do the training. I just need the money to do the training.
Okay, so let me see what I can do to help you out here. Like, how can we get resourceful? Because we can go the long way, and I'm totally cool with it. That's what you want to do, or we can go the fast way, right? But the people that scale and win in business and life and in overall personal development, they're the people who get resourceful and figure things out. Because with business, you're going to have a lot of stuff get thrown at you. You're going to have a lot of things fighting. You're going to have a lot of different things coming up. What's the what's the best way where we could get resourceful to come up with the investment? Let's brainstorm for a second. Like, can you do it? Take out a credit card? Do you have credit? And then you just start helping them, and then you'll know in 60 seconds if they can do it or not. If they're, you know, if they can. You're just you're exaggerating all options.
Fair enough. Yeah, I mean, because I've done that before.
Luke Ward,
and
what
people,
family member loves you the most? That's so good.
yeah, I mean, because I mean, a lot of people will say like, yeah, I definitely want to do it. I just need a little bit of time to stack up some money, and I'll get back to you in a few months. You reach out to them 2 months later, hey, just touching base. Is
That
this
right
something
there,
we're ready to
Nick.
get started with?
That right there, Nick, is if you don't set up a plan, you're just going to reach out. Hey, you ready to get started? No, man, I ain't ready. But if you
Yeah.
help, like, get resourceful, hey, you know, let's set up a plan. Like, what are you going to do to get the money? Like, let's make it out. And guess what? I'm going to put that shit in my notes. And when I call them on that day, guess what? That's exactly what I'm going to say. And then they're going to be like, well, I don't have the money. Okay, can you not having the money? Remember when we talked about this, you know, 30, 60 days ago? Nothing's changed, dude. So
Yeah.
what are we going to do? Like, I don't want to sit here and like reach out to you if you're not willing to be putting in the effort to actually, you know, get into the training to change your life, right?
Yeah.
So, like, what do we need to do from here right now? Because like I'm not going to be following up and chasing you down anymore. So like we set up the plan. What happened, man? How can I help? But if you don't have like if you don't create a plan with them, like helping them get resourceful, like every business owner and every successful salesperson, like they've had to get resourceful somehow to do something. So
Yep.
you're actually teaching them ways to do things that they didn't know how to do, which is getting resourceful. And that's a huge skill that every coach needs to have.
Awesome.
I would always end it with that. And talk about the notes, putting your notes in your phone in the CRM. I know exactly what we talked about the whole entire conversation of everything.
Yep.
So that's what I would do for the people because you're going to come across a lot of those, and you don't want to spend too much time on them,
Yeah.
right? But you still want to show them love, but you need to be specific and you need to have targets, right? This target with this person is helping them get resourceful. What's the plan, and what are they going to do to come up with it? Okay, awesome. You go execute that, and then 10% of them will probably do it. The other 90 are just going to be pissed it off and not change, just like what most people do.
Yeah.
That puts your best foot forward to like actually get like clients. And dude, some of my most committed clients has come from doing things like this. I've had people sell their guns, their cars, borrow money. Like I've had people do some crazy stuff. I had a guy sell a bus one time, literally. It's another story. But people can get resourceful, but they need to be coached on the resourcefulness, and it's our job to help them with that.
Thank you.
Chicken dinner. That's a fact. Well, we'll do Q&A. I'll close out with this, and I'll answer any other questions that we have. We're already over time, but it really doesn't matter. I have a whole coach's toolkit that goes over everything from offer architect to content to closing. Like it has a bunch of really cool stuff in there. If you want it, send my Instagram toolkit, and it'll automatically send it to you. If you guys want that, you can have it. But other than that, let's see.
What about the objection of like, you know, oh, I just need to, you know, I need to sit on it. I need to think about it. Like I need to meditate on it, or, you know, any of those. Like, well, let me think about it.
When you say like you need to think about it, like what exactly do you mean by that? Just to see if I can help.
That's usually what I ask them. They will say things like, "Oh, I don't know." Like that's just usually my process.
If you did know,
like,
but if you did know, like, what would it be? You see how I cut you off? Can't let them think because they have a role in mind. Their mind is no good. That's why they're broke and don't have a successful business. Their mind is broke. But if you did know, what would it be?
That's good. Okay, I'm gonna write that down.
Bam! Yeah, don't get caught into the spiral of letting them feed you your BS. I got something too. So for I deal with a lot of business owners, right? So like this is a reframe. This is gold. We'll end on this one. Okay. So the key is like, let's say a prospect, I'm on a sales call with them. Like they view the world a different way. And it's my job to show them how I view the world and show them a totally different perspective. That's literally all objection handling is. So if somebody's like, let's say I have a business owner, yeah, man, it's just really risky for me right now, Jesse. Just give me a little bit of time. Jake, no big deal, dude. That makes sense because we obviously make decisions off of our perspective. Am I right? Yeah, man. Yeah, of course. Okay. And would you agree, like the way that we make decisions kind of like shapes the results of the life that we get though? Yeah, man. Yeah, of course. Okay, Jake. So like on a scale from 1 to 10 with with a scale from 1 to 10 with your business, 1 being you're stuck, inconsistent, there's no real revenue, you're bleeding money everywhere, and you're just grinding, hoping something, works out. And then a 10 being everything is working, the pipelines are full, predictable income, the business is actually running without you, and you have all the time in the world with your family. Like, where do you fall honestly on that scale right now? 1 to 10. Give me a number, Jake.
3.
Oh, I'm a 5. Oh, I'm a 3. Okay. Oh, I'm like a 3. Okay. So, out of curiosity, like, are you willing to allow that same way of making decisions that's gotten you to a 3 in your business? Like, keep dictating the revenue and the growth of your future? Like, are you willing to settle for that?
Probably not if I want to be who I want to be.
Okay.
I want to get the business where I want to get it to.
So what does that tell you about this decision that's in front of you right now?
Probably the first
If
good decision I've made in the last 5 months.
If anybody gives you another objection after that, I'd cut them off. See, Jake, right there, like that's the thinking of a 3 out of a 4. Their opinion is invalid. If you know you could really help them, and they're not just some egotistical person, like ask them where they're at in their business from 1 to 10. Like this is a perfect reframe, and I use this on more than anything on anybody because if they tell me it's 7 or anything below, it doesn't matter. If they were thinking at a 10, guess what? They probably wouldn't be in these situations that they're in right now. So I want you to did you notice what I did? Okay. I literally got that person to buy in logically to the fact that if they keep making the decisions out of like this decision-making process, they're not going to make any progress in their life or their business. Therefore, no objection that person could give me is valid at that point. Because from their way of thinking, I mean, it's a 5, it's a 4, it's a 3, it's a 6. And they just agreed to me that they had a poor level of thinking because that's called a reframe. It's just reframing people's minds. And you can do that with so many different ways. And that's like kind of showing them like your view and your perspective of the world in terms of reframes and stuff. So any questions before we get off here and go night-night? It's probably 1 a.m. where Anthony's at. Sweet. Well, did you guys at least learn something today? That was the whole goal. Alan, you sexy son of a gun. Look at you, hotel room. I see you over there, bro. Crazy. Come on. All right. Well, much love.
Thank you.
Guys. Thank you, brother. I appreciate you guys. Let's go kick some butt, and I'll see you when I see you. Come on.